Hey guys, all right, let's make sure we are all good. Hello. We are on day 5 of the Love Your Body, Lose the Weight 7-day extravaganza. How is everybody doing? I am currently under full quarantine. Good times to be had by everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video that I shared today about just really, what's up, lady loves? Oh my God. Hi, Miri. Hi, Roxanne. Oh my gosh. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video that I shared earlier about really what's going on with the quarantine, how we can really use this as an opportunity and be in a space of connection within ourselves and see it as an opportunity to come out stronger and come out better for it. So make sure to watch that video. If you haven't done so, every day of the extravaganza, the videos are in here, days 1 through 4. And today we are doing day 5. If you have not registered for the extravaganza, then you will not receive any of the homework. So you have to have signed up to receive the love work, all of the handouts that I've sent, along with any other additional little gifts and things that I've sent you along the way. So again, I know we've received many emails and it's like kind of like, well, I'm not receiving anything. And then we're seeing that you never actually signed up. So if you didn't sign up, you won't receive anything. If you did sign up and you weren't receiving anything, please go to your spam, go to your junk folder, especially if you have Gmail. A lot of emails can go there. And also please make sure to add our email address to your address book, because that's a way to ensure that things don't go to junk. And you want to do that because I send out all awesome stuff. So why wouldn't you want to hear from me? Hello. All right. No. I mean, it is true. It is. I do. I send good stuff. I always get so happy because my email list, it's like the girl in my, one of my team members, she's like, she's been working with me for like 5 years. She's like, no one ever leaves your list. And I was like, that's because I send good stuff. All right, now let's get into this, right? Because I want to hear from you guys. So far, what we have done in this 7-day extravaganza is pretty freaking epic. And I'm really, really excited for it. So on day 1, we did the diet or must go, how to release control no matter how scary for effortless weight loss that lasts. On day 2, we did up your frequency and flow, how to love and trust your body, even if you don't trust yourself around food or if you don't like the way that you look. Remember, this entire thing, the first 3 days of this was a love your body challenge. This was really intended to step into your worth, to step into your confidence, to be in a place of connection within you and to repair the gaps of where you've wanted to disconnect, right? So that's what we were doing on the days 1, 2, and 3. The whole thing, we're getting back into connection, obviously. That's all I do. Day 3 was worthiness in your weight, how to connect to divine guidance and own your power. And I'm loving hearing everybody's ahas and just everything that you guys have experienced. Hello, this is my tree. I named him Fred. I love him. He's a good one. I'm saying that because I'm seeing that I'm like hitting his leaves. Don't you guys name your plants? See, it's because of the actual experiment that I was telling you guys about that I name my plants and I talk to them. It's called love. I was sharing with you guys yesterday about the study that they do on plants, not feeding them and then telling them all negative things, and then other plants telling them all positive things, and then seeing that the one with all negative things dies within like 24 hours, and the one that still isn't fed but is just told loving words, thrives and like buds are blossoming and all these things. And I was like, oh my God, this is like all we need as humans. So day 3, worthiness in your weight, how to connect to divine guidance and own your power, right? Day 4 was yesterday, where instead of, we took it out of the 3-day challenge and the love work and we moved it into masterclass series. Yesterday we did food 101, frequency, fun, and food freedom, release fear of food, weight gain, and more when no one is teaching. And what I really spoke to was the energetics of food, recognizing that we are all energetic beings. I really took it a deeper level into the metaphysical, understanding that our mindset around all of this, that we create our reality, that food is just food unless we give it more meaning, that all experiences and things that we have in this life are all just the meaning that we give to them. It is our interpretation, and we get to shift that at any time. So it's up to you what you want that to be. It's up to you. You get to create the rules. You get to create the rules for your life. There is nobody that says that you need to struggle. There's nobody that says that there's only one way to do things or that it has to be another way. You get to choose. What's up, Steph girl? You get to choose. You get to create your rules for everything. You get to create the rules for how you want to live your life. You get to create the rules for how you lose weight. You get to create the rules for how you're going to run your business. You get to create the rules, right? You get to create the rules for all of it. And you get to create the rules for how you want to experience being in your body and how you want to create the things that you desire most in this life. You get to create it. So are you following somebody else's rules and what somebody said to you? Are you following your culture? Are you following what your parents did? Are you following what society is saying is not the norm? Because the people that break what the norm is, Olympic athletes break times not because, oh my God, they're special. And they said, I'm going to defy that. I'm actually going to run even faster. I'm going to throw that even further. I'm going to swim faster. I'm going to do this. They defied the odds. They said, I'm going to do what no one thinks you can do. That's what we've really done. And when you look at the people that have changed the span of time for all of us, it's those thought leaders that said, I'm going to think of what's deemed impossible and make it possible, right? I always love that quote, I'm possible is really what's in the word, right? Just like dieter has die in it. Can we talk about what I'm teaching here? Do you guys understand? So it's really, really important. Sherry, it's so good to have you here. It's so important, guys, that we start to understand and look at what are the rules that we're living into and why. Who said? Just we're listening to something that another human being said. Why? Does it work for you? Why are you following a diet that your own body isn't guiding you to? Makes no sense. Why are you eating in a certain way that your body isn't telling you it needs? Makes no sense. Right? So you get to do whatever you want, and the only person that's going to make you wrong is you. And you get to choose that and say, well, I choose no longer to make myself wrong because that just feels like shit. So why would I want to do that anyway, right? Why would I want to do that? So today we're talking about clearing broken belief systems to be completely free. Everything that I teach can be applied to every area of your life. Everything. I firmly, hands down, believe that every woman could benefit from doing my Weight Loss for Life program. Hands down. Because it's a program about loving you. It's a program about owning your worth. It's a program about self-expression. It's a program about healing all the things that have left you to think that you were broken so that you can become whole. It's about actually owning your confidence and showing up boldly in the world and showcasing your talents, showcasing your gifts and saying, yes, I'm deserving of love. Yes, I'm deserving of money. Yes, I'm deserving of all the things that I desire and so much more. It has nothing to do with weight. It has never had anything to do with weight. Any of you here that are thinking that it has to do with weight, it's never had to do with weight. And you're all seeing that. I'm seeing like, oh, aha, like awareness is where it starts with all of this, and that's great. And as you're listening to me talk, I need you to recognize the voice in your head that's wanting to go, why didn't I pick up on this earlier? That's wanting to condemn you for not noticing this earlier or telling yourself that you're wrong. The last thing that we need to do is condemning ourselves any more than we already have, spending years making ourselves wrong for all the things, right? So it's about like, there is nothing wrong with any of you. You are all absolutely freaking amazing. Like amazing, amazing, amazing. Girl, I am so glad you found me too. And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad all of you are here because we all need this. We all need this. You are all perfect. It's like I'm in a band. I don't know what's happening. You are all perfect. You are all divine beings. You are all absolutely epic exactly as you are. And there is nothing outside of you. Everything is inside of you. It's just about going, do I trust me? Do I trust that I have the answers? And this is something that I teach all of my groups, and I will say it to you, and I want you to hear it, and I want you to write it down. There is no question that you have in that beautiful mind of yours that your soul doesn't have an answer to. It's just, are you getting still to hear the guidance? Are you actually allowing yourself to find out what that is? So when we're talking about broken belief systems, this isn't that you sat there and were like, I want to have broken belief systems and make my life really hard. I don't know, there's noises outside. I'm mandated to be home, so I can't do this from my office. Sorry. Okay, so I say this, I probably would still do it from home because let's be honest, I like my home. And I like my comfy sofa. Everybody needs this blanket, by the way. It's like dusty pink because everything in my home is dusty pink and gold, because why wouldn't it be? And some pops of orange and blue. But oh my God, it's like a little slice of heaven. I'm just gonna put it on me right now. You would think that it's the Arctic. I live in California, but you know, I like fur. Okay, it's fake, we'll just say. All right, I digress. So what I really want you guys to know when we're talking about broken belief systems is you didn't just sit here and say like, I really want to make my life hard and I want to find fault in myself and I want to be unkind to me. None of that was ever said. That was never a part of this. What happens though is we start to experience things. I shared in the very first video that my mom took me to Weight Watchers meeting. And in the Weight Watchers meeting, I took that to believe that there was something wrong with me and that my mother thought I was fat, i.e. something's wrong with me, therefore I am less than, therefore she thinks I'm fat, the whole world thinks I'm fat, I must be fat, and something's wrong with me because of it, so now I need to fix me and in some way I'm broken. As a result of that, I became really insecure in my body. I ended up with body dysmorphia. I ended up being a chronic diet. I'm here today for one of these reasons, many of these reasons. So I say that because it was my interpretation. Now, had I been in a space where, and this is a prime example of what happens with broken belief systems, okay? I'm gonna throw some of my psych background on you guys as we're going through this, so just work with me. When we're looking at broken belief systems, it's all our interpretation. Now, had I been in a space where I was an adult and I could go back and go, Mom, hi, I'm 10. Or no, I was 12. Mom, this is really uncomfortable for me to be sitting in a Weight Watchers meeting. Do you believe that I'm overweight? Is that why we're here? Right? But we don't do that, right? We don't even do that now as adults. We don't actually like say the things that we really want to say. I want to encourage you all, by the way, there is immense freedom when you just start saying what you want to say. And it's also super amazing how many people don't actually want to hear what you're saying or what you're really thinking. And really starting to give yourself the grace to just say what's on your mind and get out of the, well, what will they think? And starting to just own your words. Whole other thing we teach in the program. So bring it back. So to the point, because I want to stay on track for today. It's not that I don't want to teach on that. It's just, we've got to reel me in. Clearly, I've been inside a bit much. So, I need to do more than one run a day. I think I'm going to need to like up it to 3 or 4. So that being said, broken belief system was my internal interpretation, right? And then that's what I did. Each one of you has different experiences. We all do. That we've encountered that once you create a story, see, once I created a story that I was overweight, everything meant that I was overweight. A boy didn't like me. Oh, it's because I'm fat. I can't wear this. Or if my mom would say, honey, you know, I think, why don't you wear that instead? I'd be like, oh, it's because she thinks my legs are big, right? Like everything. So write this down. Very important. You will give meaning to whatever your story is. Whether you want to make it negative, whether your belief is negative or positive, that's what you will give meaning to. Does that make sense? So if you believe that you're overweight, then every experience you have will be people looking at you, judging you. You will think they're assuming that you gained weight. You will think that they're looking at you differently. You will think that they must be thinking that you look fat in your outfit or overweight. I hate using that word fat. Overweight, right? That will be your interpretation and it will make you feel bad. But that's not the reality. That's just your reality. We will give meaning to whatever our belief systems are, whatever our stories are, either negative or positive. That is the interpretation of what that experience will be for us. So if I want to say this in a more simpler context, a broken belief is, so how do I, okay, hold on, give me 1 minute. Because there's so much that I want to say right now. And I have this written down, but I need to get this out correctly so that you guys can really take it in because I'm getting there's some confusion. Okay. Whatever your belief is what will be your interpretation, either negative or positive. Whatever your belief is, you will feed that story, either in a negative way or a positive way, based off of you. So for instance, I want you to think about something that you're very confident in, that you're quite secure in. So let's just say we're going to use feeling good in your body. So you're going to walk into a room and say you feel really good and you're confident. You're like, I love my outfit. I feel awesome. I am hot. I'm hot. I feel sexy. I'm super confident. Oh my God. Like I feel so good. Lost weight, blah, blah, blah. You're going to assume that everyone's thinking you look good. That's going to be your experience because that is your interpretation of it. However, if you're feeling not good in your body, then your interpretation of everything that you see, from people looking at you to people whispering to people, will be that you will make it about you, and it's a judgment, a negative judgment on you, and it will feed your already broken belief that somehow you're not enough. You guys get me? Do you feel me on this one? So it's really, really important to understand that that applies across the board to everything and anything. So did you notice that when you're having a good day, you're like, everything's always working out for me. Oh my God. And you're telling yourself all of these positive things. And then all of a sudden the parking spot's open and then there's this. And it's like, yeah, because everything's working out for me, which by the way is a very positive statement that I encourage you all to write down and say to yourself all the time. Tell my clients to do the same. Now, did you notice though, when you're like, today is a crap day, nothing's working out for me, this, that, everything starts following up that way. And you're like, oh my God, I spilled coffee on my shirt. Oh my God, there's no parking. I had to park so far away. Oh my God, I got to work late. Now I'm going to get yelled at. Now this, now that, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out I got this bill and money's to, like, right? Like it will go on a negative spiral. It's going to feed whatever it is that you're believing. So it is so important that we start to shift our belief systems from a broken belief system, honestly, that could have come from, and thank you, love, that could have come from, and a lot of this comes from our childhood. When we're looking back, the subconscious mind stops forming after the age of 8, which means we are all operating with thoughts and belief systems that were formed from birth up until 8 years old. Now they are moving the barometer. Some are saying until 10 years old. I see that there's a big disconnection that happens with women, with young girls, and their bodies around age 10, but the beliefs and what I learned was really at age 8. Look it up and see. I know they're always changing different things with things that we're finding out with the mind and the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, but the subconscious mind stops forming after the age of 8, which means all of your belief systems, everything that you do as an adult operating in the world is stemming from beliefs that were created from birth until that age. So that means this is why when you see all of adults and you're kind of like, dude, oh my God, he's acting like a child. He is acting like a child. Just like you act like a child. Just like when people say to me, what do I do? It's so weird. I go home for the holidays and all of a sudden I'm eating the way that I was when I was there, but I feel so good otherwise. So what is going on? Because I was so good for about 72 hours and it changed because your inner child's coming out. It's recognizing where you are. We're animals by nature. You're going back to an old habitat and you're also going back to an old way of being, which means it's going to trigger that child in you and what her beliefs were, especially when you're put back in that housing environment. So how do we shift out of these broken beliefs? So are we all clear on broken belief systems? They all come about and they stem from childhood and they continue to build and they build and they build and they build. And they will, unless we go in and unless we do the work that I share and the work that I do in the world, I find that they still stick, they stay. And this is not to say, and I will stand by this. This is not to say that once you do internal work on yourself, that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like I'm just a being of only love and light and only good things happen to me. And I just think positive things and I'm never triggered. That is bullshit. And if anybody ever says that, because we're humans, you are always going to be changing. And I have to tell you, life is going to have you evolve whether you want to or not. Life is going to give you life lessons, whether or not you want to do it in a context, in a frame of being supported in a program, right? Or in a sisterhood and community and things like that. But I mean, my clients can always say this, life will throw things at you. And it's just, it's human evolution. And the thing is, I don't ever want to stop evolving. So when people are like, well, won't I be done with the work? It's like, it's not work. It's called being human. You're always going to be feeling, you're always going to be thinking, you're always going to be growing. It would be weird if we weren't. You're going to have desires, and each year you're going to have goals. And as you achieve those goals, then you're going to have new goals. And as you reach those new goals, new fears are going to come out. And so in order to actually free you, to have the life that you desire and the things that you want for yourself, we have to go back. We have to go in. There was a woman, Jolene, that like shared, she's like, oh my God, it's like once I stopped and actually went inward and asked myself these questions, it was so freeing because I really saw that there was a memory that related back to my mom and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, there's so much fear that, oh my God, I don't want to go inward. I'm afraid I'm going to unravel. I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. I think it's actually to be so painful. And it's like, no, what's more painful is living in the ignorance where you just sit there and just keep numbing out and shoving things down, wanting things to change, but always only getting so far before you're pulled back in. Only making so much progress before you're pulled back in. It's like, how many times can we lose weight to only gain it back again before you just feel like you've failed 50,000 times over, right? And I talk to women that just sit there and they're like, I'm in so much shame. I'm in so much guilt. My husband doesn't even know I struggle with this, or I'm so like, I can't believe I'm investing in something else. And you know, my husband's seen me try so many things and I'm so done. I'm so, right? Like, and it's like, I get it. So how do we actually heal these broken belief systems? Well, one, what I want you to do is get a pen and paper, and I want you, and maybe not right now, because I'm going to keep talking. I do talk fast, but what I want you to write down to do when you get off of this is, what belief systems do I have that are holding me back? What belief systems do I have about what I believe that I'm deserving and worthy of? What belief systems do I have around my body? What belief systems do I have around losing weight? What belief systems do I have around food? Do I believe that I need to deprive myself? Do I believe that I need to heavily restrict in order to get a result? Do I believe that I'm not deserving of the things that I want? Do I believe that I have to work hard for the things that I want? Do I believe that I already have too many good things? I hear from women often, you know, I've already been blessed with so much. How could I have this too? So they actually make it hard on themselves, right? Or, you know, I'm afraid that if I lose this weight, I got a lot of attention and I didn't like it, right? Or I ended up having I ended up being taken advantage of, or I ended up like getting attention from a certain family member, or there was inappropriate touching, or like there's a lot of different things that come up. Or, you know, when I did lose weight, you know, I felt, and I hear this one too, you know, there was a lot of judgment that I got from my mom, or I felt this competition with my mother and I didn't like it. So I wanted to put the weight on. Or I noticed my sisters, you know, or siblings, you know, they were still struggling with their weight and everybody in my family's overweight. And so if I lost weight, I wouldn't fit in. There is a lot that goes in, and these belief systems about ourselves. So I want you to get clear on what are some of the belief systems that you have. And when we notice the broken belief system, I just want you to write out, I have a belief that blah, blah, blah. And underneath it, right, this belief no longer serves me. And then write a positive, counter it. So I have a belief that if I lose the weight, I won't feel safe, you know, or that if I lose the weight that, what's another one that I hear often? Oh, the responsibility. That once you lose the weight, then everybody's going to expect you to keep it off, and that it's just kind of like this thing where you've done that before and it felt so bad. Remember, the mind is set up to keep you safe. So it's going to want to protect you. It's going to want to do things to protect you. So if you lost the weight before and then were heavily judged when you gained it back and it didn't feel good, then the mind is going to do what it can to make you feel safe, which means it's going to bring you back to keep the weight on, right? And I'm so grateful that we're doing this during such uncertain times where there is a lot of mindless, you know, the desire to mindlessly eat or stress eat or ground in with food so that you can feel weighed down and heavy. Now we get to illuminate these things. Now we actually get to put them out. What's up, Lady Love? Now we get to put them out. Now we actually get to bring them out of our beautiful minds. So this is the power of journaling. This is why all of the exercises and everything that we've been doing in this entire extravaganza is getting you out of your heads, because your mind is never going to take you to where you want to go. Your mind can only take you as far as you know how to go, which is why you keep losing weight and gaining it back and losing weight and gaining it back and staying in this frustrated self-sabotaging cycle. The mind will only take you as far as you know how to go, which is why we need people that have gotten further to show us how to go, how to get there. This is why I always say, like, Olympic athletes have coaches and a team around them, because they will have the goal, they will have the desire, and then they need the reinforcement, because your mind will want to talk you out of it, right? This is why I believe in coaching. This is why I became a coach and I didn't just become a therapist or a psychologist, right? This is why I wanted to tie all of this in, because I like the proactive nature that coaches have, where we actually put you into inspired action and hold you to those action steps so that you achieve them, right? So this is not, so I really want everybody to get, because there's a thing around dieters that it's like, oh, I should be able to do this on my own, right? Oh, I should be able to do this. And I love seeing this, because I see this a lot with clients of mine that like I just had a woman sign up that's like, of course she had like a business coach, but she didn't have somebody to take care of her, even though she's coaching people, right? So it's like, you've got to have the support system for yourself to get you to where you want to go, or else you won't grow there. You will only make so much growth in that direction. Does that make sense? So hence why I'm trying to give you guys as much as you can to be able to illuminate what's there, especially during this time, so that you can start to go, okay, what can I do? How can I be proactive? How can I look at things differently? What are the steps that I can take? And I'm giving them to you. So first and foremost, we want to look at what are the broken belief systems. Then I want you to look at it and say, is this serving me? No. Good. Then you're going to write the opposite under it. What is the new belief? What is the new belief, right? So if it's unsafe to be seen, then my new belief would be, it is safe to be in my body. It is safe to be seen. It feels good to be expressed. It feels good. You have to check in for what that is for you. Each one of you are going to have different things, right? Like when I do this in our programs, each woman is really guided to connect in with her own body. So I really want to tell you, and I know for many of you, you aren't connected to your bodies right now, so this is new. So this is a muscle we need to strengthen. It's really, really important. But without this, then we continue to struggle. We continue to stay stuck, right? Because it's not enough to just sit here and listen to me, right? Yes, you can get a lot off my energy. Yes, you can be in a high vibe, and after listening to me be like, oh my God, I'm motivated and inspired. You know, all my clients are like, I've got your podcast on. I've got our call on. It like lights me up and I get my workout in it, blah, blah, blah. And it just makes me know so positive, and that's great. And I always tell them all, it's nothing if you're not doing the actual guidance that I'm giving you, right? If we're not actually putting into practice the thing that I'm teaching, then this is just another video, right? And that's not my desire here. My desire here is that you get support and that you actually see and experience real change from being a part of this, okay? So when we're looking at broken belief systems and we're sitting there, it's really, really important that we start to identify, where did these come from? Now, I really want to preface, this is so important. This is not for you to live in the past. We don't want to be living in the past. I see this a lot in self-development work when people are new to this, or when they've subscribed to self-development and self-help. They spend all of this time going in the past. Like, oh my God, well, I think this, and this is why it's this, and this is why I'm that, and this, and this, and this. And I really say that starts turning into victim energy. We don't need to keep going into the past. It's one thing to identify and go, oh, interesting. I really see that belief stemmed from my mother, and probably from her mother, where I really saw that I created food scarcity because there wasn't a lot around growing up, and my mother always told me to clean my plate. So then I grew up thinking I always needed to clean my plate and ate more than I needed. Aha moment. I don't need to clean my plate. It's okay to have leftovers and eat half of that meal tomorrow, right? So that's breaking lineages. That's breaking a generational belief system that ended up creating a broken belief for you. That's actually not the truth for you and your body. That's a prime example, right? So we can start going, okay, well, what's my new belief? Right? I started this off by saying, what are your rules? What are your rules for your body? What are your rules for your life? You know? what are your rules? And what I mean by that is really looking at it and going like, what makes me feel good? How would I like to eat? How does my body want to eat? What does my body love to do? What does my body love for fuel? How does my body love to move? What would be my ideal scenario? What have I noticed feels really good? You'll notice like your body feels really good going to bed, you know, slightly hungry, right? And waking up really hungry feels good. It feels good to go to meals feeling empty and excited and really ready to sit down and have a meal. Right? Like you have to get clear on what that is. Like I know my body thrives on a lot of water. Like it loves water. Like I drink a gallon of water a day. Like it always has been that way. It thrives on clean eating. Like I learned that. And when I learned clean eating, I was like, wow, not only does this make so much sense, and I like things that make sense. I don't like complicated. So I don't subscribe to all these like crazy diets and different things. It needs to make sense to me. Eating whole foods in their natural state makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense from a health standpoint, makes sense from a scientific standpoint. It makes sense from just a inner knowing in my body. Of course, it's natural that we're removing all chemicals, other forms of pesticides, other things of that nature. Like it makes sense. And you know what? My body loves it. And I found that honestly, I teach it to all of my clients because their bodies love it too. Our bodies don't want all of these things that we can't even pronounce and have to decipher between that are messing with our hormones and all the other things that are going on. So I like things that are simple. I like things that make sense. That was a part of me understanding my body and getting clear on the rules that I decided for myself, right? Around how I wanted to feel in the world and what I wanted my experience with my body and with food and with movement to be like. And I wanted to be a rich, beautiful, joyous, highly nourishing mind, body, soul experience. Guys, we get to have, ladies, like everything you put into your body is this epic, beautiful agent of change for yourself that can fuel your mind, that can have you aging backwards, that can have you release weight effortlessly, that can have you feeling beautiful and sexy and confident and really learning the inner workings of your body and knowing like, wow, that makes my digestion like off the charts. And this like really doesn't feel good for me and causes headaches. And oh, this like I have boundless energy and I'm like, I feel better than I do. I mean, I truly have more energy than I did when I was like in my 20s. And I was like healthy. I was a chronic dieter, but like, you know, and I'm the same weight. Like, I'm like, what? And I'm not working out like a crazy person. I work out like 30 minutes a day and I eat what I like, right? So I say this to you guys because it's really, really important. When we're looking at belief systems, this isn't about going back and finding fault within ourselves. So really, really notice where you want to make yourself wrong or sit here and go, oh my God, why am I finally just getting this? Or why am I, don't do that. We need to stop making ourselves wrong and start being a best friend to ourselves to actually get to the place that we want to be. It needs to start in here, the internal change for the external results. So I want you to get clear on what broken belief systems you have. And then I want you to sit there and rewrite them. And then I want you to, at the end, I want you to go, I release this and I let this go. And you get to burn that mother. So don't start any fires. You're just gonna get a pot or you're gonna do it in your sink and you're gonna take this and just go, I release all of these. I let this go. This is no longer serving me. This is a time of cleansing. We are cleansing the planet. We are cleansing anything and everything that isn't working for us. And this is an opportunity for you to let go of limiting and broken beliefs that you don't want to have anymore about yourself and your body and your weight and all the things that you think are not right with you. Because honey, everything's right with you. The only time anything wasn't right with you is when you thought it wasn't. And then that created a belief. Thoughts create things. Thoughts create beliefs. Beliefs create experiences, right? And our beliefs is what we attract in. And those experiences are what make up more and more of our stories and what we end up having and allowing in our lives. If I didn't believe that I was less than, do you really think that I would have held myself back or gone the hard course around building my business or like kept myself from pursuing different dreams? That was all a result of me not believing that I was worthy and deserving then, that I wasn't enough in some way, that I wasn't as talented or as special, or that I didn't have something. I am no more special than you. We are all special. We're all deserving of those things. It's like that Oprah quote that says, you know, there is nothing that we can't have. I'm butchering it, but it's having the courage to ask for the things that we truly desire. It's not that anything is outside of us or not available to us. You can ask for it, but you have the courage to ask for what it is that you really want. Do you have the courage to go really big with your ask? Because you can have whatever it is. You just have to have the courage to actually go for it. And I know that when you struggle with believing that you're less than, finding that courage is challenging. And it will be something that you struggle with. And I know that I did. And becoming whole and finding deep love for me and being my best friend and finding only good things in me and really noticing that voice that would want to make me wrong and just noticing her and having compassion for her and going, what do you need right now? What do you need from me? Not I'm shutting you down, not what's wrong with you, why am I so mean to myself, but just going, I hear you, voice. You came from somewhere. So what is it that you need from me right now? What do you need me to know? What do you need me to support you with? Because I left you a long time ago, but I'm here now and I love you and I'm not going anywhere. Everything that you've always desired to hear from somebody, no matter what your profession is, no matter where you are in your family, the appreciation, the approval, the acknowledgement, the unconditional love, all of those things, that's something that you are actually lacking within yourself giving back to you. When it's not to say we don't, of course it feels wonderful to have those things from other people. Of course it's amazing to get those things from other people. And it's you that we truly, it's ourselves that we're always desiring that from. It's ourselves that we want that love, that unconditional love, that appreciation, that part of us that goes, oh, you went for that goal and it didn't happen. That's okay. Because you busted your ass and you did great. And you know what? Something better, right? We need to be that voice for ourselves, not the condemning voice that's like, I can't believe you just ate that. You just said that you weren't going to, blah, blah, blah. That's not what you need. There was a reason for it. And I really, really want to encourage you guys that as you're going through this process, to have immense, immense amount of compassion and love for yourselves. Hold on. As I'm drinking my love cup. All right. I feel like I have something like tickling my throat. So I want to make sure that I'm staying on track here. So we want to really let go of everything up until now and really just say, I have an opportunity to start over. I have an opportunity to do things, and not even start over, but just take all that I've learned, all of my wisdom, and now I get to step into a new way of doing this, a new way of being, one that serves me, a new way of relating to me. It's like, you know, this is your coming out party. This is an opportunity to go, the next whatever number of years in my life are going to be the best years of my life, right? Like there is nothing, I now am awakened. I'm awakened. You found me. You found me for a reason. You know, you are here for a reason. We have almost 1,000 women in this entire challenge, which is so epic and incredible, as I'm like sitting here and, you know, from all over the world. And it's like, you didn't just find me from happenstance. You're able to hear this message now. You're able to take in what I'm saying. This would have missed you a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, months ago, right? Because right now, who you are in this moment is somebody that's ready to change, somebody that's going, I'm ready to see things differently. I'm willing to do my part. I'm ready. I want this to be fun. I want this to be easy. I want to meet me. I want to know what lights me up. I want to know what excites me. And I'm ready to let go of all the things that aren't serving me. And I'm ready to let go of this dysfunctional relationship with food and with myself. And I want to love me up. And I want to feel good around food. And I don't want this to take up any damn time in my life that it already has. I'm ready to play big. I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to have some fun. And I'm ready to focus on the things that matter most to me, but definitely not making myself wrong or feeling less than because of something I ate, right? Or because of a number on the scale, because that can change very quickly. And it really is quite easy. right? So we want to look at these belief systems. We want to look at the places and the different ways and just go, okay, I release you. But this is not about living in the past. It's about letting the past go. This is about letting that part of you that's going, if I could just get back to my body when I felt good. You're all completely connected to a time in your life where you felt like you were amazing. You felt like, everything was flowing for you and your weight felt good and life felt good. The thing is, your weight felt good because life felt good. You felt good because you were happy. You felt good because you were lit up by life and your focus was not on food or on your weight. So you're associating a point in time in your life that you felt so good and you keep saying, if I could just get back to that, if I could just get back to that. Well, how about getting back to being better than ever? How about getting back to a new you, a better you, even better than that? Why are we trying to go back when we have so much to look forward to? So much to look forward to that's so much better than going back. And it's time to let go of the past and go, I loved that time. I appreciate it. I learned a ton. And now I get to let go and live in a big way, right? And really, really give yourself that opportunity and that grace. Does this make sense? So when I talk about faith, and many of you will say, well, what does faith have to do with this? And, Melissa, I know you're so religious and this and that. Guys, I was raised Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I went to all girls private Catholic school for 12 years. I was I was Catholic. I believe in God. I still believe in God. I am Catholic. That's my thing. Now I will say this, as I say, that's my thing. It's like too much on my shoulder here. Faith is the missing piece that so many people don't speak to. I'm not pushing religion on any of you. I just say believe in something greater than yourselves, whether it's universe, source, power, Mother Nature. I see God in everything and everyone. I see God in my tree Fred. Right? Yeah, okay. Again, I need to get outdoors. I see the ocean. I see a child and I'm like, oh, God. I believe God is in every one of us. The divine is a part of us. I mean, just if I'm saying anything and it doesn't speak to you, by all means, just take what speaks to you, leave what doesn't. I'm not saying subscribe to being Catholic or to religion in general. I like religion because I find it gives people hope. I found, though, one of the missing pieces that is pivotal to really healing a relationship with food is you need to be connected. You need to be connected to something greater, and you need to be connected to yourself, and you need to believe that you are a divine being, that you are a child of God, a child of the universe, a child of source, power, whatever, and you are meant for great things, that you were born for all good things, that there is nothing outside of you and everything is in you, that you are a light and you are meant to spread your light to the world, and you have power in that. And there are powers that be that are here to support you every step of the way, that there is a universal plan that is available to you that is so much greater than anything that our human minds can even begin to comprehend. And it is so big and it is so beautiful. And I believe, as that Marianne Williamson quote goes, and I love that woman, and she was one of my first mentors, it says, "It is not darkness that we fear, it is the power of our own light." Hands down. I was afraid of how powerful I was. I was afraid of how big my dreams felt to me. And I was afraid of and had been conditioned, and I saw how my bigness made other people retract. And so I could feel that, being an intuitive. I could feel it, and I sat there and I said, oh, wait, I want to make sure they feel comfortable, so I would dim my light. And then I would dim it some more and some more and some more until that became a place that I wanted to stay. Because I had a fear that if I shined too bright, I wouldn't have those people, that they would go away, right? I feared my own light. We all do, okay? No matter what your dreams are, we all fear the power of our own light. We all fear our dreams. We fear that we're gonna fail. We fear that they're too big for us, that there's no way that they can happen. Our mind can't even fully comprehend it. Why I love faith so much is we don't need to know the how. God will show you the how. The universe will guide you to the how. You don't need to know how to lose weight. Your desire to have such a plan to control everything is what's actually constricting you from receiving the divine guidance that was there for you this entire time, that would guide you to a very simple, easy path to the very thing that you want. And your desire for control is what's actually created the resistance to the very thing that you desire most. What we need to do, and why I love faith so much, is recognizing the power that is us, and also knowing and turning it over and saying, faith, God divine, this is my absolute desire, and I turn it over to you. May it be this or something greater. Write that down. May it be this or something greater. This is my desire. May it be this or something greater. I desire to co-create with you. Show me the path of least resistance. Show me the path of least resistance. Show me a different way. Show me a better way. I teach how to connect into this, to be in the space so that you no longer question, but actually can hear it and follow it and be in inspired action for it. We are all receiving divine guidance all the time. You are receiving a complete path to the very things that you're desiring and asking for. There are prayers that you've asked for and they have been answered. Are you actually taking the time to listen? Are you actually allowing yourself to see the grace of what's being given to you and what's being shown to you? Or is it only that you can see what it would look like if it's your way? Because if you're only looking for things to be given to you in the context of the way in which you believe you need to receive them and see them, and the desire of your own mind, then we're missing a lot of prayers being answered. We're missing a lot of divine guidance. We're missing out on the ease and the flow. And that is what the power of the feminine is. That's what being in your frequency and your flow is. This is what I teach in my programs. This is what I teach in my Sacred Feminine program. This is what I teach in my Ultimate Queen. This is what I teach in our Weight Loss for Life program. The power of the feminine is being in this space, and we're all being called to surrender right now. And so this is where faith comes in. Does that all make sense? So I'm not saying that you need to subscribe to God or a particular religion, but I would say, if you're really looking to be on the other side of this, it's not going to happen in isolation. And you thinking that you need to know and control every step and be in that with yourself is actually what's constricting you and causing more pain than joy. It's what's actually keeping you from the ease and the flow and the fun of the journey. And that's where we really got lost. And I know I did as well. And it was when I came back to faith and became a student of A Course in Miracles that I came back to my relationship with God in a whole new way. And instead of fearing God the way that I was raised in Catholicism and in my all-girls private Catholic school, I came back to knowing that God was my best friend, that God has a beautiful plan for me in my life that's so much better and so much juicier and so much more delicious and is endless and limitless in the abundance, in the financial prosperity, in the in what I am creating in the world. And all I get to do is just show up and go, okay, I want to create with you. I want to co-create. I want to be a part of this. I want you to show me the way. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that things don't happen, that aren't challenges. It's not like once you make that decision, like, yes, I had cancer, I had different things. It's not that. And what my connection did was enabled me to turn that into a ginormous gift, to turn it into one of the best experiences of my life, to turn it into something that I was then able to turn around and help thousands and thousands of women with themselves. Right? So how can we turn all of these things into gifts? And that's where I really firmly believe that faith comes in. And it's knowing that there is something so much greater at play that is supporting us in everything that we desire, because it's the smallness, it's the isolated nature of the dieter that believes and sits there and fixates day after day on calorie counting and puts, instead of sitting there going, let me live today in the biggest, boldest, most beautiful way possible and get everything and suck the marrow of life and show up and have so much fun as if it's my last day here on earth, I'm going to instead fixate on what's wrong with me, sit there and deprive myself food, calorie count, and make myself wrong. That's not somebody that's in faith, right? And faith is, I know that it's meant for me and I know that it's happening even if I can't see it. I just am going to keep having faith that it's happening, right? Does that make sense? So that's really where the faith piece ties in today. So we covered everything for clearing broken belief systems to be completely free, how to let go of the past to commit to your future, and what faith has to do with it. So stay tuned, because tomorrow we have Think Yourself Thin, the mindset needed to release weight with ease. So I will be with you at 5 p.m. Pacific in here tomorrow. And I just want to keep hearing from you guys. I encourage you all to continue to share your ahas, to be in a space of really, really owning what you're experiencing right now. Be of support to one another. Share your aha, share what's showing up for you. Post in any questions that you have for me, and I will answer them as I did on yesterday's video. And I can't believe we only have 2 more days together. So stay tuned. Also, I will post underneath this a link. I tried to create an extra gift for those of you that are wanting, that are ready for support and are wanting next steps and are sitting there and just going like, I'm fully committed to what I'm doing here and I'm ready for the next steps and I really need some support. I did open up times in my calendar. I only saw that 2 were left. So Heather's gonna try to open up some more. There's only so much time in a day, but I will try to do that and I will post the link below and first come, first serve. So if you don't see a time and you're ready and excited and sitting there and just going like, this came up for me and I really need some support, I'm encouraging you all, you know, just come with that one thing that you're needing. There is a format I'll take you through. We'll have that period of time together and I'm here to support you guys. All right, so I know there's a lot going on in the world and I'm just really trying to be as give back as much as I can and be a resource for you all. All right, thanks so much, guys. Love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. I don't even know. Where am I?